All right, guys, welcome to the show today. My name is Noah Abear. I'm hella excited. Y'all might see me sweating a little bit. We ain't got no AC here in San Diego. It's pretty stupid, but I'm really excited today because there's something that was just confirmed on the charts. All right. And I'm really excited for what crypto is going to be doing within the next couple months. All right, guys. Now, just a little bit about myself. My name is Noah Abear. I'm 27 years old. All right. I've been investing in the Forex and crypto markets for 5 years now, since I was about 22. All right. First got introduced to it, started losing, started sucking, and I didn't like that. So I'm here to show you guys some things that I've learned and ways to go about moving around in these markets and understanding exactly what is going on. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Now, you guys can see right here, we're pulled up on the Bitcoin chart. All right. For the weekly. All right. Now, if I delete all these indicators, remove 9. Okay. All right. So this is our chart right here. All right. Now, the first things I want to identify are patterns and levels that I can see. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking off patterns. All right, right here we have an area of support. All right, which is now turned to resistance that we can see right over here. All right, guys. Now, what I'm so excited about is this. All right. It's something called an ascending wedge. Now, it moves right here. Let's make that red. All right. Now, what I'm so excited about is this close of these last couple weeks right here outside of the wedge. All right. Now, if you guys go on Google and look up an ascending wedge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is normally the break they're calling for. All right. But we have a double top right here. 1, 2. Okay. And I'm really excited because this is just flowing into exactly what I thought was going to happen with us getting an $8,000 Bitcoin. Now, I know you guys are probably like, $8,000? What the? This dude's fucking tripping. All right. But I'm going to explain to you why. All right. The market moves in cycles. Okay. You guys can look up crypto cycle. All right. And this is just an overall cycle of what the market is tending to look like. Okay, so throughout the phases, you have disbelief, you have hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, price comes down. We have complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, all right, anger, depression, disbelief, and then we start all over again. Okay, what I think we are in right now is the denial phase. All right. So we have, in my opinion, a long way to go. All right. I'm not saying that the markets are over. I'm not saying that you can't get rich. What I am saying is for everybody, we all need to have optimism. We all need to have faith. All right. Because I'm going to show you guys something based on percentages. And this is something that the market is going to do time and time again. All right. So from the last cycle, we have our high right here. This is in 2017, where Bitcoin ran up to about $20,000 and then all the way down to 3. Okay. Now, what's important is for us to measure these highs from the very top of the candle right there to the next low. All right. And we get about 69.15%. Okay. So then we come over here and we go from the highs to the lows. And what do we get? About 74%. Same ballpark, not exactly. All right. Now, the second wave. All right. We're going to take from the complacency phase, which is right here. You guys can see. Oops, wrong slide. All right. Complacency. All right. And we're going to go from here, from the very tops of those, down to the lowest point in the market before it turned around. And we have 72.12%. All right. So if we come over here and we look at how price broke below this level in May of 2022, broke below 30,000, came down, and then it came back and retested that area. All right. Now let's just measure, what was it, 74%? Oh, my bad, wrong place. 71.7. Let's just go with 71. All right. So from the tops all the way down, we get about $8,825. All right. On a 70% loss of a current value that it's at right now. All right, guys. So that's one thing I've noticed. All right. I'm waiting for this weekly candle to close outside of this, but we can see the resistance. We can see how everything is just coming together. We have our EMA shifting once again. All right. We have our white EMA, all right, which is our, we have our white EMA line coming back over the red and green. All right. And when green is on the bottom, we're looking for sells. So we are strongly looking for things to move down here. If we look at the daily, we can see how price has just kind of gone sideways from here. Kind of gone sideways. All right, it had a pump up, but that was short-lived and came right back down, guys. All right, so I am extremely excited to see what's going to take place. All right, we might possibly get a head and shoulders on this area. All right, where we have what am I looking for? Forecast and measurement tools, shapes, pitchforks, no, head and shoulders. All right, so we have our left shoulder here, head here, and then possibly a right shoulder right over there. And this will give us our head and shoulders right here. But I'm really, really watching to see what these daily patterns do, what these daily candles are doing. All right, so if you guys bought into crypto, if you guys bought into Bitcoin, you know, years ago, all right, even a couple months ago, a year ago, don't lose faith. Do not lose faith. Because the markets will turn around and they will have higher highs and they will repeat the same cycles. Okay. So what I'm looking for right now on Bitcoin over the next couple months, over the next even year possibly, is for a pushback down to around $8,000. Now, I highly suggest, if you guys would like to be in the markets, to save your pennies, nickels, and dimes, all right, and invest that money at the right time. All right, guys. So next, we're gonna go look at my favorite coin, VeChain. All right, and now this is a crypto that helped me make all my money. I started investing back here in like 2019, 2018. All right, it was actually December 4th of 2018, right there, right here. All right, where I first started buying VeChain. And it took me 1 year to December 4th, 2019, right here, to acquire X amount of VeChain tokens. All right, so all through this time, I was buying and holding on and having faith and spending my entire paychecks, and my boss was telling me I'm stupid. But I didn't listen to him. I followed what I believed in, and it benefited me, and it helped me and my family profit and prosper. All right, guys. So the markets are going to move together in a sense. All right, VeChain is right now 1.4 cents. All right, and I'm just looking at these highs and lows. All right, so this is VeChain's first cycle. All right, unlike Bitcoin, which has 2 cycles. All right, we can see that here. All right, first cycle, then it came back, and this is the second cycle. Well, honestly, it's even earlier than that. We can look at all of this back here on Bitcoin. All right, where it went from the highs of $1,100. All right, all the way down. We got our 69% right there. And now we're going to go from here to the lows, which is about 80%, 70, 80%. And then the market finally corrected and moved back. All right, so VeChain itself doesn't have that much data formed yet. And what we're waiting on, or what I'm waiting on, is honestly a touch to these previous lows, where before we broke out on that huge 2020 bull run, all right, I'm looking to see if the market is going to respect these levels and push back up. All right, now these values that I'm looking for to get in are 0.009. All right, that means you can buy 100,000 VeChain for about $900. Okay, so anywhere inside of this green area right here, where we're bouncing off these highs of where the market previously was, I'm looking to be in. All right, so I've been adding some slowly but surely, not too much, because of course, with Bitcoin falling, the rest of the market's going to fall. All right. So this is something that I've just been holding on to, keeping on the back burner. All right, and playing it safe with that. All right, next let's look at ETH. All right, we've got the same kind of pattern on ETH. Go to the weekly first. Delete these so you guys can see. All right. Same pattern as Bitcoin, guys. Same exact pattern. And honestly, ETH looks a lot better to me than Bitcoin does. All right, make sure we've got these covered. All right, now let's go. All right. In my opinion, though, ETH looks a lot better and a lot more clean than Bitcoin. All right, but we can see that ETH still hasn't broken out of that wedge pattern. All right, so we can get some more movement in here. Where's my drawing tool? Brush. So we can get some more movement in here like this, and then a break on ETH. All right, but let's do our measurements. Let's do our percentages. All right, from high to the low, we have about 77%. Let's see if we have the same thing here. About 79, 80%, 81% is the final number right there. All right, from the very tips to the very bottom. All right, and then we have the same kind of pattern forming right here, just drawn out. Let's measure this. Down to the lows, we get about 91% from that second little hump down to the lows, where ETH was like 80 bucks. I have a buddy whose girlfriend was buying it at like $90. All right, so if we go from the highs of 2100 here and we take it down 91%, we get $163 ETH. All right, guys. So these are my predictions. All right. I strongly believe that Bitcoin will be at $8,000. And I strongly believe that ETH will be about $150 to $250. These are my main buying levels. All right, so let me just mark them. Uh, 150. Then we're gonna do another one, and we're gonna send that one to 250. All right, so I strongly believe that, some catastrophic event and or the election or regulations kicking in or something is going to send price this low once again. All right, so my buy-in on ETH is about 150 to 250 buy-in. That's my targets on ETH. All right, now, one that I am extremely excited about is Solana. All right, now I'm not going to erase all of these because this took me a long time to draw up. All right, I've got it coordinated exactly how I need it. All right, based upon different things. But Solana is honestly coming to a very crucial point in time. All right, so these are support and resistance levels according to the weekly for this area. And these are on the daily. These are major zones on the daily. Okay. So what I'm looking for, so these trend lines right here, these wedge lines are off of the daily. All right, but what I'm looking for is price to come right back down here to the lowest point of this weekly wick. All right, so about $16. In the $16 zone is when I'm going to start buying Solana again. All right, I got in over here in December. I bought it about $10. All right, and within, a month and a half, I had doubled up. I had told some buddies of mine to get in around $10, right? Because that's extremely cheap. And you guys can see how just over the last year, prices just played in this zone. Okay. So if we get a touch here, which will be the third touch on the trend line. All right, we got a touch there. Touch there. All right, if we get a touch here, if they come down and touch it and respect the zone, all right, this will be an inverted head and shoulders. We have the left shoulder back to the base. We have the head back to the base. And then the right shoulder will be right here, which is the third touch on the trend line. And then a push up. And I'm expecting to sell somewhere around the $32 range, right in here. I might stretch a couple positions to the $36 range. All right, but we have to keep in mind that this is an area of resistance, and all of this is now resistance. So price is going to have to fight its way back through all of these price levels. Okay, so I'm extremely excited. I'm not saying this is what's going down in the market for sure. All I can say and go off of is my experience and the amount of times that I've won and the amount of times that I've lost. Because you can learn valuable things from both instances. All right, you guys see every ticker over here, red as hell. Red, 4%, 4%, 4%, 3%, 4%, 6%, negative on the day. All right, now I'm in a couple sell positions on MetaTrader. Got in a couple days ago. All right, dashed lines are my entry, and the price has just been dumping ever since. So if I go to the daily and look at it, all right, I saw how we came up here. And once again, these are the daily support lines. You see how price here on the daily touched it, wicked away. But we keep getting closer, touched it, wicked away. Before we just broke through, no problem. Sent off. All right, and then we have the lows over here. Touched it, pushed away. Came back, broke. Came back, touched it, pushed away. Came back, pushed away. Came back, fell through, and closed right over here. And now we are firmly below the daily support, and we're chugging to the south side. All right, so the next area essentially would be this zone right here where it broke from. All right, and that's why I'm looking to get in right about here. But I saw these candles right here. I saw this candle come up into the EMAs, and then I saw them get shut down the very next day. All right. Then these two candles came up, and I saw it get shut down the very next day. So I set up a pending order right here. My entry on this trade was 1995. I had another trade open, and that was at $20 even. All right, because I saw this on the 4-hour time frame. I knew that this was an area of resistance. This blue line was an area of resistance. And I saw this forming, and I'm sitting there and I'm being patient and I'm wondering what's going to happen next. All right. So once everything started forming, all right, we got that good old trusty head and shoulders breaking out. We have our left shoulder back to the base. We have our head back to the base. All right. And I saw price come up to here and I was like, damn, I missed it. All right. So I set my pending order right there at the top of the left shoulder. All right. I set my stop loss above the head. All right. And I woke up one morning and I saw that my trade had activated. And I caught the right shoulder of this head and shoulders. I got in right here. Of course, I had a little bit of drawdown with this huge wick that's right there. But that's okay because it didn't hit my stop loss. Everything's good to go. We can break it down to the hour time frame. All right. And then after all that happened, it was just about patience because I saw price come back down from my entry and rest on the base. And I knew that it was just a matter of time before these EMAs started breaking apart and fanning out. All right, which is exactly what we're doing right now. And I think that we're going to get a descending wedge into this zone. So I think price is going to continue to flag out. You know, make all these little eventually fall to this area over here. And then I think we'll get a correction to the, oh, I don't want that. I need to move this over. All right. And I think we're going to come down into here, do our thing a little bit, and then I think we're gradually going to move back up. Now, whether price does that or not is honestly none of my concern. Well, it is of my concern. Let me not lie to you. All right. But the one of the major things that I've learned in investing and being in these markets is you can't control what price is going to do. All right, we're not whales in the market. We have no jurisdiction. We have no control over what the market's going to do. All we can do is simply set things up. All right, all we can do is just line things up on a chart, look at it for what it is, accept it for what it is, and adjust accordingly. All right, so major lesson I've learned. One of the major things I've learned in this game is that you need to have patience. All right, I used to joke and tell people all the time, yeah, I get my patience from Costco, but they're always sold out. All right, we need to have patience, guys. All right, so these are my 3 predictions. All right, let's go over it one more time. I'm looking for Solana at $16. That's when I'm going to start buying again. Now, if it falls back down to 10, all right, if it falls back down to 13, I'll buy a little bit more. If it falls back down to 10, I'll buy a little bit more. I'm not going all in at $16. So for example, if you have $10,000, $10,000 of capital or liquid, Let's call it liquid. If I can spell today, liquid. Liquid cash. All right. You guys should break up whatever entry levels you have. So let's say at 16, you're going to spend $1,000. All right. And at, what was it, $13? At $13, you're going to spend $2,000. And at $10, you're going to spend $3,000. All right. Now you've spent $6,000, 3, 2, and 1. $6,000 between these three entry levels. You still have $4,000 to use if price continues to fall to $6, $7, $5. And you guys can break up your entries from there. But the lower that price goes, right, the more buying power a smaller amount of capital is going to have. So you're going to get way more. You're going to get about 300 Solana at $10 if you spend 3K. But if you spend $1,000, all right, you're only going to get, what was it? 10, 160. Do some quick math. My mental's fried right now. I've been sick with food poisoning the last couple days. You're going to get 62 Solana. All right. If you spend 2,000 at 13, you're going to get 153 Solana. Okay. And if you spend 3K at $10, you're going to get about 300 Solana. Okay. Now, if you do 300 plus 153 plus 62, that's 515 Solana that you will have. Now, just speculation. If we go back to the highs, of $259, $259 per Solana. All right, we're going to multiply 515 times 259. All right, now, if you guys follow this strategy like I am, all right, just off $6,000, when price moves back to the highs, you walk away with $133,385 off a $6,000 investment. And you still have $4,000 to use if price continues to fall. All right, so my goal for the next bull run is to own 1,000 Solana. All right, I hope you guys, look at what I'm showing you and take it and actually go learn and enjoy and just really think about and plan out your strategy. All right, because it's a blessing once you're able to take these amounts of money, because then you can put it into real estate. Come here. Go lay down. Talking to my dog, I'm sorry. But you guys will be able to change your lives in unbelievable ways. Unbelievable ways. All right, so the first buy-in that I'm looking for is $16 on Solana. All right. ETH, we're looking at $150 to $250. All right, but the levels that I plan on hitting are here. I want to hit 1100. I want to hit about 800, 900. And then after that, I'm going after this wick right here. Sorry, I have neighbors walking up the stairs right here. All right, and then I'm going to go after about 650 to 700. And then what is this? About $400 right here. And I'll probably hold off at 400. Yeah, I'll hold off at 400 until it gets about to 150 to 250. All right, now, same concept as I showed you guys on Solana. I'm not dropping my whole bag at this top entry because I can get 6 ETH if I just wait and be patient enough for price to come back down here. All right, so I'll probably drop, $1,000 in here, $1,000 in here, $1,000 in here, $1,000 in here. And the lower it goes, the more money I'm going to drop in. So it might be 1K here, 1K there, because that's still kind of high. $800 is still kind of high. I might put $2,000 in when it gets down to 700. That's 2 ETH. All right. I might put $3,000 in when it gets down to 400. That's 7 ETH. All right. And at 150 to 250, I'm selling my car. I'm selling my dog. I'm selling my girlfriend. Everything's getting sold because I'm buying ETH. I will buy another one later. All right. And the same thing on Bitcoin, you guys. All right. I'm just watching it at these levels. Just watching it at these levels. All right. I'm seeing what price is doing here. And I'm saying, based on the history, based on the past, I can expect price to start moving down. All right. So I'm going to start setting up my entries. We already have our $8,000 entry. Next, I'm going to be looking at about 15. Then I want the tops of these. So we'll probably go about 12K right there. And then once it gets down to 8, boy. So these are ways that I've found to be profitable in the market and also not have myself so stressed out. Because when you look at smaller time frames like the hour or the 15-minute or even the 4 hour sometimes, you start to get confused about what the market's actually doing. All right. But when you look at the weekly and the daily, okay, you can very clearly see what the market's doing. You can clearly see where price wants to go. All right. And this is not telling me that the market wants to rise. This is telling me that the market wants to fall. And Bitcoin is Big Daddy. Bitcoin is always going to be Big Daddy. Thus, the market moves in whichever direction Bitcoin moves. Another thing I wanted to look at, XRP. Super sloppy. I don't necessarily like XRP because of the huge influx in value that it has all the time. I like to think that it's a lot less stable than other cryptos out there. Like Solana is pretty easy to read and pretty easy to trade and look at and understand, but I've never really had any luck with Ripple. I've actually been buying since about 17 cents. Where are we at? First time I bought was in 2020. All right, about 17 cents right here on the lows. It even went to 11. But then I just held on. And once it got to about 60 cents right over here, I sold it. All right, I thought everything was too good to be true. Market came back down to about 17 cents again. All right, and then pushed off and absolutely soared. All right, but all the way from its highs of 196, it is back down at 47 cents. All right, so I'm honestly not touching Ripple until it comes back down here. Until it comes back down to these lows of like 31 to 28 cents. I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to touch it. Because I get super annoyed with it. I get super duper annoyed with it. So I like to honestly buy Ripple and just forget I even own it. I know Coinbase does offer Ripple again. All right, the lawsuit was settled. All right, that's why we had this big ass candle right here. But of course, what happened? All it took was 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 weeks. 9 weeks. 2 months and a week, and it's over. All right, so guys, these are the predictions I have. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go out and buy. What I am telling you to do, though, is come up with a plan and come up with a strategy on what works for you, what works with your finances, how much money can you put in, what can you do to change your future, what are you going to do to change your future. All right, guys, so I thank you guys for watching this video. I thank you guys for tuning in. If I brought you any value, any entertainment, or any clarity at all, just drop a comment, drop a like, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter to me. All right, if you guys give me a thumbs up, I know you liked it. If you gave me a thumbs down, I know I have some things to improve on. All right, so I thank you guys for your time. I hope I provided you guys with something, some sort of value, some sort of insight, and I'll see you guys next time. I am going to go drink the rest of this and lay my ass down because I am sick as